We have personal timelines and collective timelines. There are events constantly happening that continuously alter these timelines again and again. Our personal timelines consist of the past and present choices we make every day. They are impacted by our trauma, socioeconomic status, karmic imprints, desires, and belief systems. Depending on how much of our free will we are using, we either make predictable and established choices that we hope lead to a future we have envisioned, or we can implement more chance and uncertainty that would open up the timelines containing entirely different potential futures. If we are content on our current trajectory, the less likely we are to make radical choices that would lead to radical changes in direction. So it's a matter of personal preference. However, this is where fate comes into play. There is a degree of fate that is at work in our life, just as there is a degree of free will. Fate is the lessons we came into this life wanting to experience, and free will is the journey of how those lessons are lived. Fate can and does intervene when it feels we are not as proactive as we could be. But what is not guaranteed is how well our outcomes come into fruition. That is all left up to our actions, discernment, and willpower. Now let's focus on the collective timelines. Imagine that there is already multiple versions of reality on Earth, and in the past of one of these versions of reality, World War I never happened. That would significantly alter the future of that reality, not to mention the ripples that would create. Now apply the same concept to any event that was devastating and could be traumatizing to our collective psyche. And you could see that although there is an infinite number of potential timelines, that it's less likely we'd be able to access the ones that are prosperous and optimal if our collective psyche is continuously being directed into timelines that are traumatizing and disempowering. As I mentioned, we shift collective timelines frequently, but the wider the jump from our current reality, the more awareness is required to do so. What this means is if we want to experience an optimal and prosperous timeline, we would need to stop feeding the official narratives that limit our true potential and start taking conscious actions that reflect the timeline we want to call forth.